Okay, hello and welcome to your very last technology integration tutorial for this school year. I'm going to quickly go over your directions and I'm going to let you go ahead and get started. This lesson that we're working on today is going to be one that I don't normally do, and that's I don't have a whole lot of time for you to work on this. So this assignment will have to be done today because we will not have another tech integration class. So we're going to work as fast as we can on this and get this done. I would have liked to have stretched this out into a 2-week lesson, but because of the events that have happened in our school, as far as Mr. Ahavisi being there and testing going on, our lab had been booked up, and so we're going to just make do with what we have. So I'm going to quickly go over our objectives. I'm going to show you some examples, and then I'll show you how to do the lesson today, which I think you will find very fun. Looking at our screen right now, you can see the objectives of our lesson are to identify the key parts of what's called an Infopic, which you're probably wondering what that is, but can probably figure it out from the name. And then we're also going to be learning a little bit about digital citizenship by using some digital pictures with consent from the publisher. Grading wise, this is a 15-point project, and like I said, this has to be done today. So please work really hard on this and get this done. It's not a super hard project or complicated by any means, so I think you'll have no problems getting it finished. You're going to be selecting a picture from a website called Nebraska Through the Lens, and when I get to that website, I'll explain more about what that is. You're going to be adding text to the picture using features from the Pixlr Express website. And the Thrive objectives use a fact about Nebraska that you learned from this year. You do have a bonus on this one. If you are able to work very hard and get through one picture, you can make another Infopic and get yourself another bonus 5 points as long as you meet the same criteria on that second Infopic. So let's start off first talking about what Infopics are. As you can tell from the name, Infopics are pictures that have, you guessed it, information on it. So take a look at this picture, for instance, on motion. This is a picture here showing what motion is, and it also has information about what motion is. So motion is distance between two objects changes. When distance between two objects change, that's when you get motion. So you have this picture that kind of matches what the text is trying to tell you. So we're giving facts with pictures that match. And what's very interesting about this is I've got a couple of pictures of this fellow right here, whose name is Tony Vincent, who's the guy that I actually learned about Infopics from back in April, which is kind of cool. So I did a search for Infopics, and he's the one that popped up there. Here's another example of an Infopic talking about Newton's third law. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And this little girl's on a swing. So think about a swing. It goes forward, and it swings back with the equal and opposite reaction. So the picture matches what they're talking about on here. So we are going to take the information that we have learned from Nebraska this year, because you've been studying Nebraska in social studies, and you're going to take that information that you've learned and we're going to put it on a picture. So you're going to be taking one of those facts and we're going to actually put it on a picture. Oops, I was kind of going through some different things here. Let me refresh this page. I want to show you exactly what it's going to look like when you get to this page. So there's a website called Nebraska Through the Lens, and it is a website. It's also a Facebook group where photographers all across the state of Nebraska can take pictures of anywhere in Nebraska and submit them here. Amateur photographers or professional photographers, either or, can take some really cool pictures of our state, and they post them to this website or the Facebook group. And so what I thought would be kind of a cool idea was, since you've been studying Nebraska all year, you can actually take the information that you took and learned and put that on a picture and make yourself an Infopic about something that you learned from Nebraska. Now, the hang up that we have here is that these pictures are all posted and they're given to this website for use. But we can't just take these pictures and use them for our own unless we have permission. So I I emailed this website and I said, hey, I've got this really good idea for a lesson I want to use in 4th grade. I'm thinking about using your pictures to kind of put some of the information that kids have been learning about in Nebraska. And the administrator of this website, the person that's kind of in charge of Nebraska Through the Lens, has emailed me back and said that's a great idea and to go ahead and use all the pictures that we want to. So we can go ahead and use these pictures because we asked for permission from the website that posts these pictures to go ahead and use them, and we were granted that permission. So we have the right now to kind of go through here, of course, and use these pictures for our instructional purposes, which is kind of cool. So anytime you find good pictures like that, it's always important to get permission to use them. That's part of being a good digital citizen. So we have permission to use these pictures, which is kind of a cool thing. So when you get to this website, when clicking the link from Google Classroom, you're going to want to go here to the photo gallery. And as you saw, I had kind of already looked through the photo gallery a little bit. But on the photo gallery here, you've got a couple of choices, or actually several choices that you can pick. Photographer's choice, galleries by month, the zoo gallery, patriotic gallery, and first responders. Okay. Now I want you to think back before you make your choice on here and where you're going to go in. Think back to the things that you've learned about Nebraska. Probably has nothing to do with zoos, even though these animals are probably very cool pictures. We want to pick something that shows more about the actual state. So my recommendation for you is probably to go to either galleries by month, maybe photographer's choice, which will probably have some really kind of cool videos or pictures, excuse me. Going in here to gallery by the month, you have each of the months will pop up here with pictures. You can click on any one of those that you want to. Take a look through and see what you can find. What you're going to want to do, and this is what's important about Infopics. When you're talking about Infopics, you want to pick a picture that matches what you're talking about. So, for instance, if we have a picture right here of Chimney Rock, very cool picture. We don't want to talk about, something about Sydney's history on a picture of Chimney Rock, because Chimney Rock really doesn't have a whole lot to do with Sydney itself. So if you're going to pick a picture, make sure the fact that you're putting on kind of matches it. That's the important part of an Infopic. Now this is kind of a cool picture. You want to kind of pick a picture. These black and white ones are very cool as well. Because you're going to be putting text on there and you want that text to kind of pop a little bit. So these black and white pictures would be great. This picture of Chimney Rock would be great because we have all this space that's kind of around here that we would cover this up, so we could actually put our text kind of around here. So I'm going to grab this one as my example because it is kind of a cool picture. So when you click on it, it kind of goes into a bigger view of it. Whoops, and I click on it, it goes to something else. Ooh, look at that. That's kind of a cool picture too. There's a lot of really cool pictures on this website. I want you to spend far more time looking at pictures than I did. I just kind of grabbed one very quickly. Make sure you kind of look through some of them. Don't spend a ton of time, but take 3 or 4 minutes looking through some pictures and find something good. But when you do find the picture that you want, here's what you're going to do. You're going to right click on this, and you're going to get a right click image or box here, and you're going to say copy image address. Okay, that's important. Not copy image, but you're going to copy the image address. What you're doing is you're copying the web address for this specific picture. Okay, and that's important. Now you're going to go back to Classroom and you're going to click on the link to get to Pixlr. You're going to get to pixlr.com express. Okay, this is a free website. There are no logins to it, but because of that, it means you have to get your work done first. You have to get it all completely done because you can't save it. Okay, you have to get it done, and then when that picture is finished, you can actually make a copy of that picture and take care of it from there. So it has to get done today. You're going to say open URL, and it says URL to open. Well, we just copied that, so we're going to right click in here. We're going to say paste now. We paste that URL in there, and we say open. Takes a few seconds, it'll load our image, and then boom, that very image is on there because we copied the web address for it, which is kind of neat. Now, lots of cool stuff down here to look at, and I'm not going to go through each of these because I want you to kind of play around with this and explore this on your own, and I don't want to make a hugely long video. But typing is what you want to really grab. This website is so cool because it has all of these different things kind of already all figured out. So if I wanted, I'm going to say handwritten right here, boom, type your text here. Chimney rock. Whoops, I'm gonna say chimney rick. Chimney rock is cool. Yep. Is that a fact that you learned this year? No, probably not. You're going to do far better than that. But what I want to show you is kind of what you can do with this stuff. Now you can click different kinds of fonts. There's a whole bunch of them. Look at this. Ooh, cabin. That's kind of cool. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. I can make this bigger. I can make it smaller. If I want to put this on 2 lines, I can put it on 2 lines if I want to. I can do all sorts of different things with it. I can change. If I don't really like this, ooh, look at that. That one looks kind of cool too. So what you could do is you could really kind of play around with all of this stuff that's on here. You can put borders on. You can put all this other stuff on. Play around with the text if you want to. You can kind of do any of those things that you want. Now, if I have this text and I don't really like it, it doesn't really stand out very good. Maybe I should use black lettering instead. I'm going to go ahead and undo and then maybe pick a different one this time and say chimney rock rocks. Chimney rock rocks. Like that. I can move this down there. Again, color, I can pick whatever color I want to. Maybe I'm going to go a little darker, whatever. When I get happy with that, and I'm pleased with it, I can say apply, and then boom, it's saved again. Okay? So again, I want you to kind of play around with this, play around with some of the other stuff here. Don't make it too cheesy. Don't put so much stuff on there you kind of take from it. You know, you want the picture, you want your infographic. That's kind of what you want to have. But there's some really cool things that you can do with this to make your Infopic look better. When you are finished, you're going to go ahead and hit save. It's going to give you a name of your file. You're going to go ahead and call this whatever you want to call it, I guess. Infopic and like your name, something like that. You'll say save. It's going to ask you to save it into your computer. Go ahead and do that. Actually, when you get to the save part, you should ask Mr. Meyer to help you out, and I will help you get that taken care of, because we're going to make it and put that into your Google account. So I'll help you get that done. So if you get it completely finished and you want to save that and keep it, let me know, and I will help you get that put into your Google Drive so that you can save it for yourself. But when you do get finished, make sure you have Mr. Meyer come over and take a look at it and give you a grade on this, so that you get credit for this assignment. So with that, I think I've talked way too much, and so I'm ready for you to go ahead and get yourself started. So go ahead and click on the links, find your picture in Nebraska through the lens, copy it over here to Pixlr, and do some cool stuff.